Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Badam81, and I'm coming back to you again. This is about the Kansas governor. She has ordered that all schools in the state be closed for the rest of the academic year. Yes, you heard me right. She has ordered all schools to be closed for the rest of the year. This is by 41 Action News staff. I'm going to play the press conference as well. But the article starts off by saying Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas Governor Laura Kelly on Tuesday ordered all K-12 schools in the state to be closed and end in-person instruction for the remainder of the school year in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. The governor said that the difficult decision was made in collaboration with education professionals, including the Kansas State National Education Association and the Kansas State Association of School Boards, as well as local school boards, administrators, and teachers. The reality of this pandemic is that it cannot be controlled statewide. If school buildings return to normal operations or if they respond inconsistently with our local communities, Kelly said at a late Tuesday afternoon conference. And I will be playing that video, but I just want to skim through the article real quick. It says a state task force has been working on guidance and lesson plans for alternative instruction, including online learning, Kelly said. The task force also planned to release additional guidelines Wednesday on distribution of meals and children care, particularly for parents who are first responders, healthcare responders, or other emergency workers. She said that while more details will be forthcoming, the announcement will give parents and educators a sense of what's coming so they can begin to adapt and make plans as needed. Kelly said that all school employees, both hourly and salary, will continue to be paid during the closure. Kansas Commissioner of Education Randy Watson said that state will be asking local school boards to look at requirements for graduation for high school seniors. Our first attention will be to make those students graduate on time, Watson said. The Charlene Mission School District said Tuesday that it supports Kelly's order and will close schools through the rest of the year. We have entered into a new reality, and it is required of all of us working together in support of our community, SMSD. Superintendent Mike Fulton said in a news release. Fulton said that the district would provide parents with regular updates on our plans as they develop. Kelly also announced Tuesday that most state employees under judicial jurisdiction, will be directed to stay home on administrative leave for 2 weeks, beginning Monday, March the 23rd, in an effort to minimize exposure to COVID-19. As Kansas, we always done whatever is necessary to protect our families and our communities, and this moment is no different, Kelly said of the new restrictions on schools and state employees. On Tuesday afternoon, there were 18 positive COVID cases in Kansas, though one person in Fort County who tested positive is not a Kansas resident and not counted in an official tally by the state, most schools in Kansas City Metro had already closed for the next few weeks until April 6th. Parents who have questions on the school closures should contact the local school district, Kelly said. Okay, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to get that other video on the Facebook. I'm going to see if it plays. And then I'm going to get the superintendent so you can hear what they said. This may be a fact in where we live at, So without further ado, I'm going to play this video.
All right. Is this on? Okay, so good afternoon. I would like to share a quick update regarding our COVID-19 response efforts and from the Department of Health and Environment. Brad, do you need to put that up here? Okay. We're pleased to announce that the new COVID-19 Update Center is now live. The web address we've mentioned at previous briefings, kdheks.gov/coronavirus, now directs to a more user-friendly resource center with all of the most up-to-date information. I encourage you all to visit the website and subscribe for email updates. This situation has evolved rapidly and will continue to do so for the foreseeable future. Information is our best defense, and this resource provides our best information. We're also here this afternoon to announce critical next steps in our ongoing efforts to reduce the spread of COVID-19 and better position Kansas to combat this unprecedented emergency in the months to come. Before I walk through the details, however, I want to explain exactly why today's actions are needed. For weeks, my team of seasoned emergency management professionals has worked around the clock to adjust to rapidly evolving CDC guidance as the threat of COVID-19 has made its way across our nation and into our daily lives. We've taken painstaking efforts to proceed in ways that make sense for Kansas and respond to the unique needs of our communities. The steps we're announcing today will create the space we need at the state level to develop a more strategic, resilient infrastructure so that we can get ahead of this threat and limit its long-term impact. Those actions will come in two parts. Our response effort has been a collaborative process in Kansas from day one, and that collaboration continues with today's announcement. I am joined by Education Commissioner Randy Watson, along with representatives from the Kansas National Education Association and the Kansas Association of School Boards, to announce that I am ordering all K-12 schools to close and cease in-person instruction for the duration of the 2019-2020 school year. Administrative offices and support facilities may remain open for limited purposes in consultation with state and local authorities. Once they are thoroughly sanitized, some buildings may be reopened for small groups of school personnel charged with implementing a plan for continuous learning. This difficult decision comes after close consultation with the education professionals here today who represent local school boards, school administrators, and local teachers. The reality of this pandemic is that it cannot be controlled statewide if school buildings return to normal operations or if they respond inconsistently within our local communities. Unprecedented circumstances threaten the safety of our students and the professionals who work with them every day, and we must respond accordingly. Earlier this week, we announced a diverse task force of education professionals to develop alternative instructional options to provide continuous learning, distribution and availability of meals, and childcare with an emphasis on children of parents of first responders, healthcare providers, and other emergency workers. They have been working intensively over the last few days and are on track to release their recommendations this afternoon, tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow afternoon. We realize that closing classrooms and moving to a continuous learning plan cannot begin to replicate Kansas's outstanding education structure as we know it. But continuous learning will provide methods and strategies that will build a bridge back to the world-class learning our students benefit from today. This will take clearer shape as the task force recommendations are released. But today's actions will give educators and parents a sense of what's coming so they can begin to adapt and make plans as needed. Second, I'm joined once again by General Lee Taffanelli, Director of Homeland Security and Emergency Management, as well as Secretary D'Angela Burns-Wallace of the Department of Administration and Office of Information Technology Services, to announce that effective Monday, March 23rd, for 2 weeks, most state employees will be directed to stay home on administrative leave to minimize additional risk of exposure to the virus. This will also allow us to assess our primary essential functions so we can bring them back up in a sustainable, safe manner. This action applies only to executive branch agencies under my direct jurisdiction. Independent agencies such as the Office of the Attorney General, the Insurance Department, Secretary of State, and others are implementing their own plans for slowing the spread of COVID-19. While the circumstances driving this step are unparalleled, the action itself is not. On numerous occasions throughout the year, normal state government operations are suspended for various reasons, ranging from holidays to inclement weather to natural disasters. Our team of highly dedicated public servants across the state is well-trained and well-equipped to ensure that essential state services are provided. I've directed my cabinet agencies, in addition to boards and commissions, to each develop an internal plan that will ensure a seamless transition. They will identify which employees can work remotely, which will need to be placed on administrative leave, and how to best ramp operations back up to full scale at the appropriate time. Secretary Burns-Wallace will review and coordinate these plans, which we will announce on Friday, March 20th. Before I turn it over to other agency officials, I'd like to speak directly to the thousands of Kansans who have been tuning into these updates online. First of all, in recognition of St. Patrick's Day, I'd like to say sláinte, which in Irish means to your health. I'm sure you all have a lot of questions, so here's what will happen next. If you are a parent, an educator, or a school district employee, please know your local district superintendent was briefed earlier today. He or she will be in touch with you within the next 24 hours to explain what today's actions mean for you, your family, and your school district. If you have urgent questions, please direct your call to your local school district. If you are a state employee, more details about your job and how it might temporarily change will be announced on Friday, March 20th. In the meantime, agency supervisors will inform employees of how they should proceed. Moving forward, Secretary of the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, Dr. Lee Norman, will continue to briefings on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, or as needed. Coronavirus has caused massive disruption in all of our lives. As Kansans, we've always done whatever is necessary to protect our families and our communities, and this moment is no different. As governor, I will continue to do everything in my power to help ease the burden these unavoidable steps will place on you.